The artist is a receptacle. Sorry, let's try that again. The artist is a receptacle for emotions that come from all over the place, from the sky, from the earth, from a scrap of paper, from a passing shape, from a spider's web. That is a quote from Pablo Picasso. And this is the Inspired Poetry Corner. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever part of the world you are that you're tuning in from. Welcome to the Inspired Poetry Corner. It's a monthly recital that takes place on the third Sunday of each month. And again, this is not an open mic, this is by invitation. So today we have a feature, and then we have the Not Ready for Primetime Poets that will be performing. And then we have others that just show up in support. But whoever is here, I appreciate you once again making the choice to spend part of your Sunday with us, the Sunday kind of love that the Inspired Poetry Corner has become. And it's only that because of poets like yourself that make the choice to give your time to come and share your poetry, but to share your time and love in support of each other and uplifting our human consciousness. So I welcome you with an open heart, with a full heart. Thank you for being here. It's good to see so many beautiful faces. Take a moment and just look at the humanity that's here today. You know, it's beautiful that as much as technology is not perfect, but it allows us to still connect like this from all parts of the world. I truly believe right now we have all four corners of the globe being represented right here. And it's not just this show and all the other Zoom shows. So, you know, as much as we hold space, this does not happen without the support of our fellow poets. I was saying earlier, I think it was when Leah and I were talking, or maybe another poet, uh, one day down the road in the future, they'll talk about the great poets of this day, the masters, the mistresses of poetry. And I'll get to say, I hung out with those people, right? I don't have to talk about the Shakespeare and the Keats and Langston Hughes. I can talk about the Susannas and the Leahs and the Henry and the Lantons and the Neils and Z's and Mona and all the other poets that we get to hang out with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So my name is Raul James. I'm your captain today. Like I said, we're flying at an altitude of 35,000 feet. We don't expect any turbulence today. So, you know, feel free to take your seatbelt off and walk around the cabinet and say hi to your fellow passengers as we embark on this poetic journey this Sunday. Anyway, we have a long list of poets. I will be putting the poets that will be reciting today in the chat as we get going. I will also please invite you once we've gotten past all this to mute yourselves, and only to unmute yourself if asked to, or when you have to recite. When you have to recite, please make sure you have your poetry or whatever you're presenting ready to go. I've already got the screen shared set up, so if anyone wants to screen share, it's already set up. You don't have to ask, but it's there for you. Other than that, sit back with your favorite beverage. Let's enjoy and let's really embrace why we're here today. We're here today to spotlight a man that I saw a little while ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I saw him first at the Eurekan Monday night show, and I was just blown away by it's just his overall sense of creativity and just the way he presents and his eye and how he sees things. So it is such an honor to have this young man, and I say yes, young man here today. He's enjoyed a twofold career as a ballet dancer and also as an international electronics industry consultant. Talk about two diverse worlds. He studied fine arts and industrial design at the Royal College of Arts in London. After the events of 9/11, he began to write and to perform about what he saw in life. He's an artist who walks across genres on a tightrope of talent and keen, precise vision. His poetry is informed by the various spans of his other abilities, such as a dancer, sculptor, orator, filmmaker, and much more. His work is wrapped in colorful and textural layers of sensual detail. Even more, his work is informed by decades of experience across continents, sometimes barely surviving. He carries the reader spinning through the stages of ecstasy and despair. Ripe fields explore into battlefields only to be lost in the depths of space or the rush of history in the endlessly shifting ethical exaltation full of wisdom. Can't speak today. His poetry will stick with you and invite you back to gain new insights with each reading. Take the time to walk the tightrope with his vision. You will find each step a daring yet enjoyable thrill. That was a piece taken from Michael Sindler talking about the feature artist for the month of December for the Inspired Poetry Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with a full heart I present to you Eike Waltz.
Thank you, Raleigh. Well, you can't say good evening, and I cannot say good morning or good day. You are in so many different time zones. For that, welcome all. And thank you to our truly spiritual host, Raleigh. I'm James, giving me this opportunity. I'm Eike Waltz, born in Germany, grown up in the UK, immigrated to the United States on the East Coast in Rhode Island, and then immigrated again to California, where I'm still living since 1987. I lived there with my wife, the painter Sheila Halligan Waltz, in Santa Cruz County, California. By the way, it's the most expensive county in the nation. And my website is on the chat. Since 2014, I've written approximately 800 plus poems and 8 books. And I'm a constant reader at Cobalt Poets in Los Angeles, New York, in New York, Gestalt Poets, Open Mic, Nashville, or Beehive in the UK, Reach Arts, Massachusetts, Garage Poets in Massachusetts, and Bay Area Poet Center, Berkeley, Poet Exchange, and Willow Clan, San Jose Poetry Center, and so on and so on. After various careers in business, classical ballet, engineering, and sculpture, let me make you familiar with my idea of poetry. Today, I will present to you 6 pieces. Well, as I said, I'm Eike, strange name, even strange to my grandfather. He always asked me, how shall I say it? Well, today I believe in Santa. I send Christmas cards, I decorate our house to impress on my neighbors. I light the tree to make my wife happy. I sing hallelujah to the annoyance of my friends. I like everybody, almost. I stuff myself with a good dose of questionable indoctrination every day. I eat a lot, I drink a lot, I burp, I fart, and call myself the lover of fine art. I feel sorry for my diabetes. I haven't got no idea how I got it. And forget, so easily forget what I just had said. I will use, since I lived all over the world, I'm using a little bit Italian here, a little bit Latin, and a little bit German in my presentation. First piece is Ombra mai fu. In the treasure trove of words, languages, and music, I found the opening aria of the Italian opera Xerxes by Handel, 1738. Ombra mai fu di vegetabile, para et amabile, suave, pio, meaning never was a shade of any plant dearer and more lovely or more sweet. Dear gods, all you competing gods visiting my troubled earth, touching intimate souls so profoundly, we are one and none, divided by nature's unrest lost in history's forgetfulness. And then I don't want to leave you sad. Why should I be mad? What is the meaning of being bad? Just let me end ever so glad. Ombra mai fu. Never there was a shade longer than the light of a day, shorter than a night, stronger than fiction, as only roses can smell, definitely the infinity of that eternal delight. Ombra maifu. Never was made the shade of a plant so dear and loving, even gentler. And all the vegetables I don't like to eat may be forgiven. And all the poisonous strawberries I love to eat will finally kill me. It's so lovely, indeed. Ombra maifu. Never there was a shade during my days you couldn't be. Never there was a plant during my life I wouldn't kiss. Ombra maifu divactabile, cara et amabile, suave piu, meaning never was a shade of any plant dearer and more lovely, or more sweet. Ombra maifu. Yes, I am an immigrant. I look like one, I speak like one, I feel like one. 1984, I moved from London permanently to the US. In 1997, I got chemically converted from an alien into a legal US citizen. Since 9/11, I considered myself to be a concerned citizen, rather to be conveniently boxed activist. Even I'm now 84 and my eyes have robotic inserts. I avoid being the tyrant of my own mind. The immigrant that never dies. There is an immigrant in all of us. He walks, he eats, he works, he greets, he talks to all of us. He sleeps inside the universe next to you, in the closet and under every bed. We all pray, we are all made of blood. The why, where, when, and what, diversity in the image of God. I thank you a lot. There's an immigrant in all of us. He loves, he hates, he forgives. Good days, bad days, sad days, happy days, all divided equally between the all of us. Rain, sunshine, rainbow, full moons, the seasons end in snow, all shared with the all of us, a gift from God. I thank you, Lord. There is an immigrant in all of us. I pick the local flower that smells of destiny. All is new to me. I compare what I bear, but nobody wants to care. So I forgot or forget the past. But my heart, my soul refuses me. I build my island, I call melancholy, and invite immigrants to reminisce in fantasy. Muss sie denn zum Städtele hinaus, und du, mein Schatz, bleibst hier. Wenn ich komm, wenn ich komm, wenn ich wiederkomm, kehr ich ein, mein Schatz, bei dir. The song of a sound from where I came rekindles longing, since I can't go back. I start singing memories so hard to please. Tears dry quickly, but never fade away. I'm at ease when I look at all of you. Faces become familiar. Time teaches. Thank you that you welcomed me. I'm good. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm the immigrant who will never forget history's bitter price. Meeting you is the future for the equal in the all of us. After all, time is the guide to history. Time will guide the future by default. And I wish you all having a good time. The immigrant that never dies. Fiercely anti-authoritarian and anti-hierarchical, Dada questioned the method of originality, of the artist as a genius, suggesting instead that everybody should be an artist and that almost anything be art. Wrote Dada. Aha! And Dada says, debug your brain. I don't want to be a drummer. I want to be the instrument to be played on the dark side of the naked street during everybody's lunchtime hour, just being played with that wild pair called the drumstick gun. Bibbidi bobbidi bobbidi boom, 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 bobbidi bobbidi boom, 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 boom. Once I was afraid of words. Blah. Now, my friends, the words, these words are afraid of me. Bibbidi bobbidi bobbidi boom, 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 bobbidi bobbidi boom, 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 boom. There will be that day when you will say, once I was free to carry a gun, and I was brave to kill at will anyone. But the day I asked my pretty AR-15 gun, it responded, make love, bro, just be a real man. And yes, there will be that day when condescending words are too become afraid of you, of AI, of everyone. Otherwise, my friends, we are fucked. Boom, the boom, the boom, boom, boom. Bibbidi bobbidi bobbidi boom. Blah, fuck yeah, boom, boom, woof, woof, meow. Up, 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 up. Kiss that loaded orange clown on your golden iPod. Meow. Blah. Rodada. Yes, before I could read or write words, sentences, I could read and write musical scores. As a matter of fact, once at school, I was confused. And the alphabet would not start with the letters C, D, E, F, etc., but with A, B, C, D, etc. I asked the teacher why. Now he was confused. Later, during ballet rehearsals, whenever there was an opportunity, I took a rest under the grand piano, soaking up every tone. Walking over my bridge. It's an abstract lyric adapted to Gymnopédie number 1 by Eric Satie, 1888. I walk along a day and think of it all. But anyway, nobody seems to be the somebody. Nothing is my all. Remaining is what I call no more of anything. The past sung a word covered with all my pain. Madly, I kissed you again and again. Sadly, I missed you. I like to dream. Gladly, I like to see you once again. Badly, I was bewitched, and you seem so sane. And you, me, once hand in hand, walked all over me, walked over my dream, the rainbow bridge. So I talked astray out of the day into dark, and at the end of my infamous play, I found a name, your name, and that name looked at me, and the past now ours, the future just a thing. Sadly, I missed you again. What a shame. Badly, I need your kiss. I like to scream. Madly, I like to meet you outside my dream. Gladly, the rainbow bridge never disappeared and always will remain. Yes, I found a name, and that name found me. Now ours, just the same. Arm in arm in a painting born again, bursting colors in a magnetic storm, now that I can feel, now that I can see that you are the only one, way up high, a lonely cloud, imagination traveling across my all, breathing turbulent sky. I point my finger and we stop to say, nice to meet you, hi. Are we lost? Are we happy? Are we smiling by touching this universe we carry all in us? We may just left to wonder why we experience a miracle so tall. Human inspiration sailing beyond limitation. My heartbeat drums any wall. Yes, it's our call. I see you, little cloud as we are. To see us forever together is simply wunderbar. I love you, and madly, sadly, gladly, badly, our bridge, if I may, our cloud, at least for now, reaches beyond any divide. I love us, we humbly say, and hand in hand we steadily walk, but never sway. Just follow us, follow our rainbow, we say. How about let's kiss us every glorious day? Walk over my bridge. And I believe in Santa. I send Christmas cards, decorate our house to impress on my neighbors. I light a tree to make my wife happy. I sing hallelujah to the annoyance of my friends. All is Europe in my heart. Pizza Angelicum. In excelsior Dei Dildum, Sanctus Sanctus in Gloria Jingle Bells Angelicum. In excelsior Dei Dildum, Sanctus Sanctus in Gloria Jingle Bells Angelicum. Nothing but sum sum, that miraculous Latin curriculum. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Dada 101, boom boom basilica moratorium. The trumpet screams, the squeeze box squeezes children into materia, emergencies at a bargain. The organ tells a tale of a drama so supine. Bach attempts in suicidal notes, bullets and guns in juvenile hands. Trampolini twitters out of place just in case. He crowns his tree that glitters, lines his pockets, and under thee, on our knee, we deserve better, we think. Don't bury vigilance in a Christmas box. Yet shiny red silky ribbons may look festive on that busy day. Who is alive in Yemen, Syria, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, hysteria? How can anybody sleep anyway? Politics so repugnant, so everyday. The bloody trigger finger points, the daily kill, lost count, the mothers of all bombs excites, the father of all bombs ignites, and in doubt, promise spew louder than loud, that brainless, deadly mushroom cloud. The violin jubilates, happy, happy Christmas Day. We pretend to pray. Holy, jolly, scratch, shrum, shrum. The orchestra responds that familiar curse, boom, diddle, boom, bang, boom. Pray for that lala time of Christianity. Sing, sing, ding a dong. Sing along that everlasting, that's so familiar, what we are so dearly trained to love, that annoying flicker of the candle, chocolate flakes and icing on blue-eyed baby Jesus Christmas nutty butter cake. Melancholy, melancholy. Pray for the power of the NRA. Opioids kiss little children into good night, whose blood does not clot when you exhale that classic tale called, Oh my God. In excelsior de didum, sanctus, sanctus in gloria, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Just don't take our price away. This loaded pizza angelicum, our gloria americum. On my knees I pray, chipum, chipum, und sac, spaghetti basilicum. Omnis spiritus laudet dominum in excelsior, missa mirabile dictum, de didum, hypocrisy in delirium, missa mirabile dictum de didum, yet hypocrisy forever. Delirium. Pizza. And there it comes. Let me finish with an experiment called Dada Barocco e Spaghetti all'Arrabbiata. This is my first attempt at creating video poetry, which is combining abstract singing, the spoken word imagery, and the human weakness for keyhole voyeurism, all placed in a real non-AI graveyard. May I share screen, please?
Yes, my friend, it's already set up for you.
Okay. Why is this coming out? Yeah, here we are.
Prosecco, prosecco, prosecco. Cin cin, cin cin, antipasti,
Formaggi dell'orto,
sei bella, you are beautiful,
stagionati le vongole,
mi rendi felice, you make me happy,
calamari carpaccio.
ti adoro, I adore you,
Ah,
ti voglio bene, I love you a lot,
affettato,
baciami, kiss me. Scusi, cameriere, vino rosso, prego, il migliore per favore, vino rosso, andiamo, andiamo.
della mia vita.
You are the love of my life.
Ah,
Baciami, baciami, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. Insalata, insalata.
misto de mare,
Ti penso sempre. Think about you. Always.
tricolore, tricolore, tricolore,
Pancetta,
tricolore,
pancetta, pancetta, pancetta. Mi piaci molto. I like you very much.
parmigiano,
Ti ammiro. I admire you.
alla siciliano.
Sono innamorato. Sono innamorato.
Sono
I
innamorata.
am in love. I am in love. I am in love. Baciami.
Baciami, baciami.
Primi piatti.
Fettuccini Alfredo.
Ti desidero. I want you. Solo tu mi capisci. Only you understand me.
Bene gratinate, ravioli della nonna, crespolini di zucca.
Sono pazzo, sono pazzo. I am crazy about you.
I am crazy about you. Ah, baciami, baciami. Gnocchi, cassarecci, ravioli di mare.
Sono ubriaco. I am drunk with you.
Spaghetti misto mare e mele del fattore.
Ti voglio baciare. I want to kiss you.
Bolognese, polpette, lasagna. Sposami.
Sposami.
Ti amo, ti amo.
I love you. I love you. Secondi piatti.
Pollo alle mele, salti in bocca bene, bistecca del giorno.
Mi hai stregata. You have bewitched me. Io sono tuo.
Io sono tua.
I am yours.
Gamborini alla diavolo, pepe verde.
Pizza. Pizza. Pizza.
Quattro formaggi, frutti del mare.
Molto carino.
E mascarpone capricciosa di Parme.
Formaggio.
Mozzarella gongosola, burrata pepato.
Ti voglio molto bene. Ti adoro. I love you very much. I adore you.
Casalina tirolese scacciati calmanino.
Dolci, dolci, dolci.
Canestrelli, cannoli, cantuccini.
Sei così dolce. Ti amo. You are so sweet. I love you.
Cioccolatini, tiramisù, torrone, panettone.
Ti desidero. Ti voglio baciare. I want you. I want to kiss you. Espresso.
Ristretto, dorso, corretto, sospeso.
Mi manchi. I miss you.
Aperitivo, ti amo.
Ti amo.
Limoncello, amaro, mandore, mite. Passito, andiamo, baciami.
Andiamo. Baciami. I always think about you. Hurry up. Kiss me. Non vedo l'ora.
Baciami, ti amo.
Sposami, sposami, sposami. Kiss me, I love you. Marry me.
That is my short performance. And thank you all for listening. And let's get on with the readings.
Well, not so fast, my friend. We're not gonna let you go that easily. That was I think I've seen that before. I always feel like I've just stepped into an underground movement, and I just watched something that if people know I saw, somehow I'd be in trouble. But the absurdity of it is just brilliant. Before we get to the interview part, I always feel it's, especially for artists that are so well versed. Do you have one more you can share with us? Like, call it your encore, the big final bow on stage. Another story you can let us.
I have to look one up. Hang on.
No. Well, that's the whole point of an encore. If I told you I was going to ask you for one, then it wouldn't really be an encore. So
You would, yeah. All right. Well, I have one here, so it's not so that I don't, but I have to find it.
I just love your presentation, the storytelling. I feel like I stepped into an ariata, to an opera on stage, and I'm sitting on a chair in the middle of this performance. It's just brilliant what you do.
Okay, let's stick with the theater, and from my so-called ballet time, one which is close to it, to tell you a little bit about what a ballet life is all about. And it's called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, which is also a book which is, I expect any day to receive, or he told me it's on the way, called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. It's something about classical ballet. There's no other profession which has such a short lifespan, requiring total dedication, love, pain, and competitiveness than classical ballet. You begin at age 6 and typically end your career at age 30. You are never ill, unless you broke a bone or tore a muscle. Just remember, with the age 30, other professions, artistic professions, such as a singer, such as an actor, such as a painter, sculptor, their real career starts at age 30. But in ballet, it's gone. Your body just doesn't do anymore, with some exceptions. There are some exceptions. Mirror, mirror on the wall, if I could, I would dance in front of you all. Mommy's ambition takes your innocent body at age 6 to ballet school and They train you to become a masochist. Music and all your time shape you into a classical line. Your reflection, the mirror à la barre. At 12, you walk into a rehearsal room, become the mirror's obedient tool. Just remember, you compete. That is a sequence of steps called choreography. At 14, you join the corps. Now on point, you do what you are told. Experience the tedium of rehearsing. Yes, there shower you with colorful costumes, showing off the all of you. With 16, you may become a soloist in the center of the stage. They light you high, and you shine. You are now beautiful. You become eventually divine. The conductor, the audience wants to breathe with you, and you and the music merging into a magic instrument that projects the ballerina in you. You are a breath of fresh air. Now that you are set free, you are a professional at age 17. You pirouette and grand jeté, and yes, all crowned by these 32 mind-boggling fouettes. You dance on a level way above human ability, defying gravity of that magnetic person floor. Brava, bravo, da capo, and so much more is the reward to feel so exuberant being free. You are intoxicated, flowers, hugs, and kisses awaiting you. Once you felt the power of the stage, you became inadvertently a butterfly in a cage. Controlled by the owners of the house, where only money has its place, and critics indulge in fetishism, personal inadequacies of the bizarre. But for now, you are the newspaper superstar. For you buy that sexy sporting car. And then, that day when you come home, the anticlimax sets in. You feel a deadbeat. You just can't sleep. You binge alcohol and Valium. You are a zombie. The beginning of feeling alone. And when you wake, even you are still told that kiss, and that you are so ravishing and young. Your body in pain aches and screams. Your competition now alternates. The role, once yours, is now for share. Maturity creeps in. Time calls out suicide on your mind, telling you brutally that you reached the end of a butterfly's life. So what does your body do? Now that your mind can comprehend why Romeo died for Juliet was not just another choreographed step. Now that you are deprived without a stage, without an audience, no more fans, no more kisses, flowers, and bravos. So what do you do with your tired face when you clasp onto your once glorious past? No makeup, no rejuvenating supplements can bring back your dream, but love and pain reflecting deep inside the mirror of memories. And all you can see is a dwindling shadow of the long forgotten you. Yes, you are now so alone. Mirror, mirror on the wall. There was a day I had danced in front of you all. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's a great way to end a set. That's such a powerful set that consisted of so many things, so many things. I want to ask you, how long did you dance for? How many years were you a ballet dancer?
12 years.
Yeah. What did you enjoy most about it?
Well, I was had the lead role in at the Berlin Deutsche Oper, which was the major German theater opera house of Catullus Carmina by Karl Orff, and I was Catullus. That was my most favorite role.
How long? So not how long. How old were you when you started?
Actually, I started very late. I already had my business degree and I had my engineering degree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I started with the age of 18, believe it or not.
That's relatively late, is it not?
It's very much too late
Okay. Well, what
for most people.
what drove that then at such a late?
Well, you know, when I did my engineering and engineering apprenticeship, I had to work in a factory. Bearing in mind that was in the late 50s and or 50s, and here we had in Germany a lot of child labor, which nobody talked about. But we talked a lot about the so-called Wirtschaftswunder, the economic miracle which happened in Germany. But nobody talked about it. It was on the back of us kids,
Hmm.
because most German men were killed in the war, and there were a shortage of in the labor force. And so they used the children. We had for one master, we had 24, you know, apprentices.
Hmm.
And who did the work? The apprentices.
That's
And that means real hard work,
real hard
real
work.
hard, right? So that means I was in that environment, and that meant we had to work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So in winter, we never saw daylight, right? Because we had to start at 7 in the morning and finish at 7 in the evening. So it was always dark. So all we saw was fluorescent light. That's all we saw.
Right.
So, and of course, there was no chance to meet any girls. And here, a friend of mine asked me to, during summertime, they had an open air theater there, if I want to be an extra in the open air theater. And by the way, we earned, believe it or not, $2 a month. That was our pay.
Sorry, $2 a month?
A month. $2 a month. And if we broke a tool or, you know, messed up the work we were supposed to do, and then they took the money from us too. We had to pay for it. Right? So you learn fast.
No kidding. No kidding.
Right? So anyhow, so a friend of mine asked me to join, become an extra at the place, which happened at the Open Air Theater. And there happened to be a ballet rehearsal, which was an insert to an opera by Verdi, at La Traviata. And there was this unbelievable, beautiful girls I've never seen in my life, right, before. And so I was so fascinated by it that the ballet mistress saw me sitting on the backrest of a chair and watching it. And she didn't like me to sit on the backrest of a chair. That was not correct way of sitting, apparently. So, and then she asked me, you know, sit in a proper on a chair or not on the backrest. And then she said, would you like to be an extra to the ballet? Because apparently physically I looked all right. And from that day on, you know, you were paid $5 a performance, which we couldn't believe. And we could hold these beautiful girls in your arm, right? So that's how I slipped into it.
So
It were the girls.
you got paid more than your day job, and you got to
Right.
hold beautiful women.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why your choice would be an easy one. So,
So yes.
what did you learn most from being a ballet dancer?
What professionalism means.
Hmm.
Nothing I've seen ever, you know, which requires such dedication, right? And yes, I learned what professionalism means.
Professionalism. What was it like growing up in Germany? Because pretty much after the war, what was it like as a child growing up in that time?
Well, it's like another book you can write about. And a lot of my friends tell me to write about it. I mean, I really could write a massive book about it. But it's something you will never forget, right? just think about what is happening in Israel today or in Ukraine, right? You are surrounded by ruins, right? So there was nothing which was not really affected, right? And I also had great admiration, even so I wrote a piece about that. I have no religion, right? I'm a pantheist, principally believing, you know, I can accept God is in everything, right? Is the universe, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So I do not believe in Christianity or Judaism or all the religions we have there. But I have no problem accepting that people believe what they want to believe, right? So that's fine with me.
I agree. Live and let live, right?
Right. It just can't understand why they have to fight each other all the time. So
No. We're trying to always convince each other our way of thinking is the right way of thinking.
right, and I don't believe in this, right?
And
That part,
I believe, like I said, live and let live.
right,
I too don't do religion in that regards. I have my belief, and I see the divine in everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and
right.
it's not separate. So, but that would have been quite an interesting experience. And I loved your piece about when you talk about being an immigrant, because I've migrated twice. Being someone that was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and leaving that, going to the States, and then from the States to Canada. So I understand what that's like, and having my mother taken away from me at a young age to go to America to open doors. So that's why I really identified with that piece. I think I heard you recite it before as well. But so today in life, because you have quite an interesting background of being an artist as well as someone that worked in the business world. Do you see a correlation between the two worlds in regards to being an artist and then also being a businessman, a successful one at that for a while? So
Oh no, it's like a massive stew in my head. So they're all into, and the only reason why I write books, they're for my grandchildren, for nothing else, for no monetary reasons or whatever. Right? So I want them to at least understand me a little bit,
I hear you.
because they always ask me, why did you do this? Why are you doing this? Right? And I don't regret one of it. Right? So I wished I could learn another profession. I learned 6, so I don't mind learning 7.
I think it's amazing you already had 2 degrees before you even, became a ballet dancer. So that just speaks to your drive of, and I think more your curiosity of life, wanting to learn. And so for the up and coming young poets, and not just the young poets, for the generations that are coming up now, and in this madness that we see in the world today, at least the perceived madness, because I still
Yeah,
believe
that's
still a lot of good. Well, what advice would you give these young ones?
well. What advice did they give me? Right, see it more that way. When I started 2014 again, I retired from all the other things officially, right? And I joined the first a mic, open mic, which then it was still live before the uh, uh, COVID. And so I joined a group in Monterey under Garland Thompson, which is actually, his father was Garland Thompson in one of those space movies, the first space movie, right? The first colored person in the space movie. And he was also the poet laureate of Monterey. And so he gathered a whole group of young people around him from the university and others from the street, from wherever, right? But they were all very, very young, right? And I wanted to ask them if I could read my things there, and they said, yeah, sure. So I was, they were at best 20 years old, and then with that huge difference. The strange thing was, I realized suddenly I totally forgot who I was when I was young.
Mm.
That taught me again to think different, to think new, by just being confronted with that, right? It was a fascinating experience. Right? I realized that I left a world, of young people and forgot about it.
Right. Right.
That was for me the biggest experience, and also drove me to write more. But take into account what I've learned there.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. I never thought of it that way because I grew up in the States as a young one. And, I didn't move to Canada till I was 16 and full time when I really dove into the business world. But you never stop to think of the young ones that you leave, the ones at your age that you leave behind. It's a great way to look at it. Invites you to look at things differently.
Right.
What's I know you have a big family. Like I was telling you earlier, your daughter and I had a nice chat on Instagram, and she wanted me to make sure that I took good care of her dad, and she was so proud of you. What do you love most about your children?
That's it's a given to love my children. It's
Yeah.
simply a given. Right.
I just saw it washed all over you. You didn't even have to open your mouth. I just saw it washed all over you as I asked the question. And the reason why I asked that question because I have three beautiful children as well, and then my sister's kids, which I think of mine as mine. And it's unfortunate that we don't stop to think that outside of our homes, there are other people that feel the same way about their kids as we feel about our kids and our family and
Mm.
so forth. So you didn't even have to answer the question. I just saw it washed all over you when I asked you the question.
It's like they're living in a future world. I grew up with the slide rule, and they grow up with AI.
Yeah, they got
I
these
mean,
things
this is
now.
such a massive spread there, right? And I try to catch up with them.
Yeah. Well, it's all relevant, right? I mean, they grew up. I think
Mm.
it was Richard Harris was saying when before we started the show talking about his grandkid, and I think his 6-year-old was helping with
Mm.
technology because
Yeah.
these last few generations, that's all they know is technology. So they become quite proficient with it at a very early age. But I guess,
And the other thing is, I was a war child, right?
mm,
So I I've seen things which I hope they will never have to see,
yeah.
right?
Well, I want to wrap this up soon, but this was such a delight. What's your favorite word? Do you have a favorite word?
Word?
Favorite word? Yeah.
WORD?
WORD, yes. Word.
Hmm. Well, you see, I'm a lover of languages. I can listen to every language, just listen to the sound. To me, sound is so important. It's more important than the word almost,
Right.
right? And I listen every day, every afternoon to classical music for 2-3 hours every day, right? And there is an arts channel. It's called the arts channel something, and they're sending out short 10-minute max snippets of operas, plays, ballets and whatever, and it's a fantastic program,
Mhm.
and it's given free to all the stations. It comes out of LA. Right? It's just mind-boggling when you see all these, the best people, the best of the best, right? Back to even the earliest time of photography and filmmaking,
Mhm.
right? So,
Beautiful.
so it's for me, it's word, first comes the sound and then comes the word, strangely. Even so, the word is like a technical thing to me,
Okay.
right? In itself. You know, it has no life until I bring it to life with sound.
Mm.
Right?
How many languages do you speak?
I speak straightforward, but I can adapt easy to France. When let's say 2 weeks in France, feel okay. 2 weeks in Italy, I feel okay.
Okay.
You know, my son speaks 5 or 6. One son 5 or 6, and the other 7 languages. Right? We learn languages fast
Right.
because we are not afraid of it. It is nothing alien. It's something. It's part of life.
Yeah.
Right? To acknowledge languages, and if I don't speak them, I love the sound. I love to listen. You know, to the sound of it.
Yeah, you and I are very similar that way. That's why I always invite poets, especially poets, if English is not your mother tongue, I always invite them to recite in their mother tongue. Doesn't matter if we understand it, because there's a cadence, there's a sound, there's you hear things in it, even if you don't understand the words. So
it's an interesting question I've been asked. In which way do I think when I write? I think in the language I'm writing in. So I do not think in. I do not write my writings, let's call it, right, in English with translating it out of the German into the English. No, it's all in English thinking, right?
Right.
And there you have to differentiate between English and American.
That's a whole different show. We'll get into that another time.
Right.
All right, last question, because I could talk to you all day. I just find the way you think and how you see things very fascinating. And then, you know, to me, you're a walking history book, because you've, you know, the many vast experiences you've had, and just the history alone. You know, from, like I said, you know, having, you know, that full business life, but also that full artistic life that has so many disciplines within it. I find very fascinating. And you know, we just talked about, you know, we're not religious people. So when I ask this question, it's not so much from this monolithic way of religion, but if God exists, however you hold that understanding. But if God does exist, and when you show up to the pearly gates, what would you want God to say to you?
What say to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I've never ever thought about that. And well, you know, I'll tell you, he has to accept me how I am.
Exactly. I'm glad you never thought of it and you decided to think of it here and share that answer with us. You have to accept me as I am. Sounds like a lesson for all of us, be able to accept each other as we are. My
Right.
friend, you are a delight. You are such a treat. You're such a wealth of not just artistic brilliance, but a wealth of just lived experience. And I agree with whoever in your life said that you should write a book, really capturing, or maybe have someone sit down and just interview you for hours and just pull it out of you, because the few times I've interacted with you, I've always enjoyed your presentation and how you present your art. I just want to thank you so much for honoring the Inspired Poetry Corner, allowing us to feature you, allowing us to bring your artistry in a spotlight, and to for those that have never experienced you, hopefully they've learned something today. So I want to invite, you know, the members that are here today to unmute and just show your gratitude for Ike Waltz, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and I know most of you from other Zoom open mics, and I always appreciate seeing and listening to all of you. That has become to me now one of my major activities, right? And so I really enjoy it, and thank you all for coming. I really appreciate that you have bothered to get up like me at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock.
Well, I'm
which
grateful
is
you decided to get up early and join us and to
yeah.
share and to share a little bit of who you are, and for any of you that don't haven't experienced this man, I invite you to reach out to him and to each other and have Zoom chats and Zoom coffees and chats and get to know each other. Excuse me, in a different way, but you get to sit back now, my friend, and enjoy the rest of the show. We'll start
I
off
will.
with the not ready for primetime poets. And there's some beautiful comments. You know the drill. Take a look. I know you shared your website before, but if there's other information you want to put down with regards to how people can reach you and where they can find your stuff, put it in the chat. But again, just thank you so much. Thank you for an engaging reading and just being open to sharing a bit of your soul with us today. So I thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Check out my website. You find a lot of, which I haven't mentioned enough, my wife's work. We both were with shows all over the United States, in England, Germany, and we had very fascinating experiences. We came out against the Bush administration and their doings in 2004. And so we had a show which was called Outrage. And we had believe it or not, we had been given a gallery to do it by the other gallerists in San Francisco, free of charge, right? We had in 2.5 weeks, 2,500 visitors.
Oh.
We were shunned by the press. We had the FBI coming, trying to shut us down, right? Right. So you find a lot of that information on the website.
Nice.
Yeah. And we are not activists. And the reason for that is, and I'm not trying to speak out against being an activist. It's just we felt, or at least I felt very strongly, that in America, if you do political artistry, any form of political artistry, America doesn't like that.
Yeah.
They feel extremely uncomfortable. Whilst in other countries, you have a whole, it's a whole movement, right, to speak out. Here, you get silenced, right? They have a fantastic way how to silence you with all sorts of excuses when they don't want to hear it. And you don't have you seen a show with true political art? Have you seen a museum which addresses the issue of political art, right? No, it doesn't exist.
No.
Because it has no chance here, right?
It's the same in Canada. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of restrictions coming in, not just now, but I would say over the last 20 years, but it's gotten worse over the last 5 years.
And I'm not trying to talk about what your opinion is. We are talking about what they say themselves, but at the same time, they push it down to just in the World Governance Indicator. It is a thing done by the banks, right, to find out who they can loan money and that they have security to get the money back, right? But
Well, I
the
think
point is,
sorry, finish. Go ahead.
and America, when it comes to the press, the freedom of the press, the freedom of America compared to other countries, 220 countries which they measure against, American freedom, when the word comes to freedom, the American freedom is rated in number 40 or so. The American press is rated for press freedom at 44 out of 200 countries. All these things
The
are
land of the
suppressed
free
here.
is definitely not
Free,
not
right?
free anymore. Maybe it never was. Maybe it was always an illusion. I think you and I will have to have a Zoom chat and talk more in depth about this because I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But anyway, let's continue on with the show. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for sharing not just your artistry, but your views on life. I think it's important as poets. As poets, we always talk about wanting to change things, but I think sometimes too we're afraid to have sometimes the difficult conversations. To me, it's not about agreeing with ideologies. About do we have the courage to speak our truth based on our experience, based on our observation, and then be willing to listen to someone else. And, that's true freedom. You don't have to agree with someone. You actually may not even like what they say. You might hate what they say, but if you believe you're free to speak your mind, then so are they. And so I always invite poets to go beyond your comfort level. To me, that's one of the true gifts of being a poet is to go beyond your comfort level and speak to what you observe and what you see, not just what you feel. So anyway, we'll talk more. Thank you once again, my friend. Thank you for your bravery or your artistry and just for being who you are. All right, we will continue on. As always, as tradition, I will invite my friend Alexandra from Greece to start off the Not Ready for Primetime Poets with her beautiful presentation of digital artistry and words.
I just wanted to say that my mother was a ballet dancer and teacher, so I was really surprised that Ike was a ballet dancer. I had the same backgrounds with growing up with classical ballet and opera.
Yeah.
So that sounded very familiar. And in Europe, we do speak a lot of languages. Yeah, and so that was a sort of a new piece of information from Ike's background there. Anyways, let me just share the screen. And the video, Ike was very intriguing as well. When all I have is earth sun warming my horizons, sweet Psyche, tender wings fluttering anxiously, for it is the flight that matters, dragging my aging dreams, persevering in all kinds of weather, reaching heights of Icarus, heights of the supreme, each creation immortalizing mortality, keeping it alive, creations glowing everywhere, through my eyelashes, through the skies, flames and eyelashes becoming one, scorching our weaknesses, guiding lost souls. And all I have is a dandelion pappus to blow, seeds floating through the vortex to the cerulean ethers. For it is the flight that matters, chasing my windy wishes, releasing the nails of mental prisons, drifting breaths of nature, breaths of freedom, each ideal golden energy sent into pure light, ideals blowing everywhere through my heart, through the skies, zephyr and heart becoming one, subduing the ego to service the higher good. When all I have is efflorescence blooming in my garden, a farmer of senses cultivating the fruit of the gods, for it is the flight that matters, picking my deciduous emotions, turquoise showers reviving withered hopes, chanting priestesses of protection, priestesses of safekeeping, each inspiration soothing upheaval, melodious salvation, inspirations blowing everywhere, through my mind, through the skies, incantations and mind becoming one, blessed with the power of flowing divine energy. And all I have is paper and pencil for some simple words, creating poetry between invisible gods, invisible mortals. For it is the flight that matters, rekindling my courageous verse, grateful in defeat and victory, dressing ideas in armor, ideas in silk, each vision a sacred icon in my pilgrimage, visions blowing everywhere through my spirit, through the skies, matter and spirit becoming one, empowering our lives with universal fire, and all we have is the ray of a new dawn in the dewdrop, light triumphing, heralding a new beginning, for it is only the flight that matters. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Is it the flight that matters? That's brilliant. Brilliant, my friend. Brilliant. Brilliant work as always. So insightful. Is it the flight? Is it the journey? It's interesting. You're becoming more philosophical as you get older.
Isn't that the same for all of us?
It is. But I'm talking about you right now. I just love your work. I've always loved it, but it just, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm just hearing it differently, but
So
powerful.
the most philosophical right now in the room is Ike.
You're wonderful. You're a treasure. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, from the Dutch island, Dutch Caribbean island, our friend Marianne, you are on the mic.
Thank you so much, Raul. Thank you, Eike, for just a beautiful presentation this morning. Great to see you all, poet friends. In the time I have, I'd like to share 3 poems, if I may. And I'd like to start with a poem that was inspired by the full moon that means so much to me, and her totem animal, the raven, a photograph by my sister, Michelle Linus, who happens to follow me in today's program. So first for Mishi, moon, said raven, you are the ride or die, never the star, always the supporting player. Yet all eyes turn to you in love and extremity as you mirror the vast beauty, hope, and possibility that surround you with ever new expressions of healing and delight. I am born to break away, to fill the sky with ebony music, restless, powerful, and proud. My intelligence inspires warriors as they gird themselves for battle. But too soon I become the dark omen and a gathering of my kind and unkindness. They do not know what I know. We are just the same, you and I, outsiders, outliers, otherworldly. You are everywhere with me. And Raul introduced me as a poet from the Dutch Caribbean, which indeed I am, or at least have been. To everything there is a season, and more on this in the weeks to come. However, my season in the tropical sun is soon coming to an end. And this poem I'll offer, called Northbound. They watch you with eyes that admire but lose no love. They believe you are kind, or can be, but you are not that nice. At least that is what you know, like the best revenge that is not to be like them. You in your shell, ruled by the moon and little moved by idle tides, possess the firepower of the magician. In these final hours, you will your tongue, as you have learned at pains to do, but the gates will supernova beneath your steady gaze, and your grip will ignite a flight of northbound stars. And finally, at the end of the year, as we reflect on what has come before and what is yet to be, I must offer a poem called Mirror Images for my daughter Julia, about whom you have all heard so very often. I can't help but smile when the phone rings late, with a decades-old and ambered image, Mama Bear and Mini Me. From the sheaf of photo-finished souvenirs you've carried with you from Canada to Costa Rica, photos from an unfinished story we've both heard 1,000 times. She's you, she's you. Sure, there's a bit of family about the smile and the blonde and the attitude, but I've been grateful from the day you arrived that the holder of that great mirror spat into its eye with resolve when it made us spitting images. for the reflection in the pool of love in which I have basked since 1995 reveals your unique image and a mother's everlasting privilege to gaze not into the past, but to catch a glimpse of the future. Thank you, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be with you this last Inspired Poets Corner of 2023, and wishing you all the very, very best in the soon-to-come new year. See you then. Thank you,
my
Raul.
friend.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you. Oh, Ike, you had your hand up. Did you want to ask something or?
It did it automatically. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
So I
just thought that-
apologize.
Not a problem. Well, Marianne, I know leaving the West Indies is not your choice, but hey, we'll take you back here in Toronto. So
Thank you. With pleasure, Raul. See you soon.
I'll just try to make sure I have an extra hug for you on those cold days because it's Toronto.
I know. I'll take it.
Okay. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you soon. All right. Up next, she just mentioned her sister, Mish. Welcome back to the Inspired Poetry Corner.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Raul, for having me here. And everyone, I'm normally just a very happy listener. Today, I am a very, very nervous reader, but I got sage advice from Raul to embrace those nerves. So I actually have two pieces for you today. The first one is On the Rim. We shared secrets, our love of animals, and played together by the hour, laughing and giggling while making stack rock houses by the gravel drive and seeing who could stomp more puffballs, spreading spores highest up our white knee socks. But there was a monster lurking, a monster I did not know. The carnage this monster afflicted upon her left wounds as deep and wide as the Grand Canyon, leaving her alone in the dark bottom shadows while I basked in the bright sunshine on the rim. Death of that monster decades ago has not served to assuage her wounds nor erase the memories. We no longer share birthdays, Christmas celebrations, or a simple, "Hi, how are you today?" It's been years, and it's getting hard to remember her voice or hear her laughter in my mind. But she is always in my heart, whether I'm strolling the beach, hiking an old growth forest trail, or simply relaxing in my garden. We had joyful times, and yet I do not think she can nor wants to remember them. I imagine those memories are also those too difficult to bear. I dare not understand, I dare not say I understand. I cannot understand, for it was a monster I did not know. But I will continue to lean over the edge, extending my heart and hand with the hope of standing together on the rim again one day. Thank you. Just kind of lighten the mood a little bit, although I do think that On the Rim, it has a little hope in there as well. This is a glimpse into a little bit of my life here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's much lighter, and it's called Dead Fish in My Yard. Have you ever heard anyone say anything nice about noisy, messy neighbors? You know, the ones that play their music too loud into the late night hours, or the ones that wake you up early with their loud chatter through your bedroom window? No? Well, let me tell you about my neighbors then. They have a view into every single corner of my garden. No action of mine goes unnoticed. They throw their bedding out the window when it doesn't fit just right, adding to the eyesore of their old discarded junk, often caught in my lawnmower blades. They keep me up past bedtime and wake me up nearly every morning by 4 a.m. And this goes on from late spring to the cool days of autumn. Their antics are endless. And yet, I really couldn't want for better neighbors. They warm my heart with their strong family commitment, the discarded bedding mobilized simply to make their young comfortable and safe from the soaring eagle's sharp-eyed plunge that could stop the music in an instant. The aerial acrobatics are a joy to behold, circling their lofty nest and keeping a watchful eye on us all. So when the cool September weather quiets their endless chatter, I know my neighbors will soon move on. I will miss the early morning reveille and the ospreys that call that cell tower home. Knowing they will return next spring, I will surely miss the dead fish in my yard. Thank you.
You're a brilliant writer. You remind me of living when I lived out in BC as well, getting to see the eagles fly. And yeah, embrace the nerves. They're not going anywhere. Nerves lets you know you're
No,
about to
they're
do
not.
something important, right? This is why it scares the S out of you. Fear
It
says you're
does.
not worth
Thank
fear.
you all.
Well, it's different. Fear and nerves are two different things. Fear says you're not worthy to take the mic. Doesn't matter how much you may have practiced or, if it's a different vibe. So I always tell people embrace the nerves, embrace the nerves. Stop telling each other don't get nervous because you're going to get nervous. Embrace it. Anyway, well done.
Thank you for
Well
letting
done.
me be here, and best wishes to everyone for the end of the year and best in 2024.
Thank you, Mitch. Good to have you here. I hope you'll come back more often because you're a brilliant writer. I love listening to your words. So, all right, from brilliance to brilliance. This artist I heard at Eurekan about a month ago, maybe. Definitely loved the vibe that I felt. So I invited Z to come and share with us today. So, first time here at the Inspired Poetry Corner. I'm so glad you accepted the invitation, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Z.
Thanks. Appreciate being in this space and appreciate hearing all that you have to share. This is my anniversary with my partner today. So I wanted to read a love poem that I wrote for her a few months into us dating. I wear my heart on my sleeve, as you'll see. It's called You Shout My Heart's Beat. I adore you beyond the mark of a starter's pistol. My anticipation was an unaimed gun. It wants to say, wants to shout, wants to scream. Mouth in a pillow, silence revolver against my temple types of things. My heart is racing yours, lifetimes away from my chest to kick past the finish line's freedom. No further hurt. Feats ahead, losing myself against your blushing smile, stumbling, hoping I'm what's best for you. Damn, I'm dying to let loose for you, fully show my ugly sides to you, thirsting to get a taste of you. Who will let it slip first for us? I confide, hardly gently, no need to overstretch the truth as I've done with others before you. But no matter what I throw at you, you're grabbing. I'm the brass ring slipped onto a finger of yours. You're quick to retry and stay on for my second, third, fourth, and fifth ride. Holding, cradling, saving, surviving while I'm left behind, hands on my knees calling out to you. Dry retching, exhausted, struggling, learning to do right by you. Get a stronger mind for you. Toughen up my shields for you. I'm going to continue to fight with you. Wrestling demons, finally learning to win, pin them down, acknowledge and release them into the wind. Leaving behind the corpses of beasts, prizes won, scalped horns. I'll run toward Earth's end and create a moment for us stalled within the pace of a cyclic rotation, spinning into control. But somehow I'm naked, regurgitating some cherished phrases, wishing for my rebirth to you. We gamble as if we're the mother allowing her bird to dance on an electric wire. With me, you don't get the house's odds for a jackpot each chance you pull me, but you enjoy the excitement of my night's 24-hour light. I'm growing. I promise I can become your stable keeper. When you need for yourself a kiss, a cuddle, a win, I'll have it in my satchel to give, alongside my shame, doubts, and betrayed loves from the past. I'll let these peek out. Although these aren't yours to hold, my oozing heart, like dusted bodies against glass, calls out to you. Please cleanse me. I beat myself to earn the pennies to pay for your unpaid labor of love that I don't deserve. I hope for the luck to flip your pennies' tails onto their head. No doubt my doubts might be there when you're gone and I'm still here, all too alone, swallowed by my fears. But they're becoming small because you care and my glare collects my soul. When I feel seething emotions, you soothe this teething child. They're not that rare, you show. They're just something in us all, and maybe they'll only last for now, and you seem to know from experience, my dear. You humanize me. Paint me in colors I've never found inside me, all along from unknown worries. You lure these out to those outside of us to witness. See me in shades I've never seen before. Say words I've never heard leave lips before. Take actions which make my lips melt to the floor. Losing count of the score, because win, lose, take, leave, die, live, I desire more from you. So I'll let you know and watch what you do with my heart now, because I'm just incomplete without you. Crying to the beat of my heart. Yeah, will I wake up tomorrow and do what it takes to hear I love from you? Thanks.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head. I don't want to pigeonhole you as a love poet, but that's a love poem. Wow. I'm so glad I showed up to the Eureka that Monday night. Oh my God, you're brilliant. You're a brilliant writer. The depths of your metaphors, wow. It's like on a canvas, just jumps to life. Well done, Z. Well done. Thank you for honoring us this morning or this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come back again anytime. Welcome anytime. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. Another first time. Again, I heard this this young person at Eureka. For those of you who don't ever make it to Eureka on Monday nights, please do, because Elemental, who we featured a couple of months ago, is a brilliant host, and it's just it's an amazing platform. So, yes, Elk, you have to unmute. Yep.
Yes, New has changed. It's not anymore on Monday.
Oh, okay.
It's now on Thursdays. So they moved the Monday thing to Thursday
So they're
at
just doing
5 o'clock
they're
or
just doing
8 o'clock.
they're just doing the one open mic now.
Yes, that
Okay.
was announced last Monday.
Okay.
Right.
I wasn't there last Monday. Good to know, because then I would have been looking to sign up for tonight. But anyway, if you get a chance, go to the Thursday night show. Then it's a good gathering. So
Yeah.
this is where these next two posts is where I discovered them. From just showing up there, and this next, like I said, from brilliance to brilliance. First time here, Sierra, is your first time here, but hopefully it's not your last, because you're another brilliant wordsmith as well. The mic is yours, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. I have a trio of poems together that kind of go all together. So the first one is Jackson Park, 2022. Brown-skinned woman, cryptic codes and secular symbols etched on her skin to remind her of her aliveness. She's been numb for so long. She's become a dry, brittle canvas, a map, an ancient scroll, rolls filled with the lint of a childhood blankie now fused to her body. She lives on a barren island, filled with the bones of love and the debris of happiness. An orphan, no, a runaway with yesterday still on her heels and today dislocated on her shoulders. They found her unresponsive. Her imaginary friends took hands with her consciousness and she lost reality. Delusions generated by the illusion of paradise, she swallowed grief, a knife on fire. She's ingested more than they can take, her stomach full of pill-shaped pain, pumped full of shame. Damn, she forgot her own name. And this one is Advocate, Illinois Masonic, 2023. Damn, she forgot her own name. A stutter thick on her tongue, young woman with cocoa crusted over on her skin, thin from rubbing against concrete attitudes, cracked like a fractured vase on a bookcase of sanity, fragile and invaluable. This she knows. She's sung songs of separations, causing crumbling foundations. She's rebuilding, repopulating, repurposing herself. Construction signs decorate her body like fresh tattoos. She wears a holistic bruise, imprints of shackles on her ankles, tethered to the shame of her sin. She carries records of kin with similar afflictions on her fingerprints. Everyone is biological, environmental, artificial. Anxiety. She can't sleep a blink, and when she does, she's transported to tragedy, hunted by the malady of normalcy like a melodic elegy. Her energy is stagnant, static, stuck in time like a ruminating thought trapped in your mind. She unwinds in a thin cloud of smoke, chokes on her lies of functionality, a disguise of sanity. It became her identity. She's been touched by a strand of darkness, spreading fiercely across her small surface. She has consumed a furnace. She surrendered to the company of a half-threaded heart, lying in a bed filled with the sharp broken shards of herself. She's tried them all. She fights the crooked system with fractured lines of poetry scribbled on coloring sheets and easy Sudoku pages. Beware of her face of victory. And this last one is called Impatience. We are the stories that make up textbooks, faces to the labels in a Bible, spotlighted on every clinician's bookshelf. We are what you don't want to see in yourself. The diagnoses breathing, their reason for being, the sepia-painted pages resembling the socks we're forced to wear, or the twice-tied gowns hanging on our bare bodies, the uniform for the byproducts of a broken system. Together, we form the curve of that green ribbon. We are the sound of wailing, the infrastructure of society failing, the comedic relief, the stereotypical belief in limitations due to diversity, the shuffling of feet on cracked concrete in the ghetto, the voices mumbling inaudible, the recipients of dirty looks and unjust blame, the victims of unhinged attacks and internalized shame, the inflamed brains too stubborn to change, the unclaimed name tags on toes, the abandoned clothes, the secrets never told in families. We are reality, tainted with the blood of truth. We wear our scars like tattoos and our traumas like new shoes. We make you uncomfortable on purpose. We are that crawling feeling on your epidermis, the gnawing guilt, the clawing away inside, forcing you to hide behind your own normalcy. We are the loss of dignity in exchange for healing, the 20-minute consultations resulting in lazy recommendations, always at a psychiatrist's discretion, an easy description of dysfunctionality. We are disability invisible, so it seems that to you, our personhood is too. Thank you.
Powerful beyond description. Wow. The depths of your word and then the performance itself is a beautiful marriage. Beautiful. Well done. It's even more powerful than that I remember. So glad you showed up. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Powerful stuff. Powerful. The imagery that just jumps. Right? Was that she swallowed grief. I could just feel it. Just the words, and you could see the grief going down. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I hope you will visit again. Hope you'll definitely come back again. For all you organizers out there or producers of shows, Z and Sierra's, please reach out to them and invite them and feature them. They're brilliant young voices that we need to hear more of. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, another first timer. I had the honor of sharing the stage at the World Poetry Conference a few weeks back with this young man. So, Charles, my brother, the mic is yours. Another powerful voice.
Yes.
Living in crazy situations and not letting life bring him down. The mic is yours.
Yes.
Okay.
May I start?
Yes, you can.
Well, I'm Charles Lipanda Mahigwe, 18-year-old Congolese refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo. But nowadays I'm dwelling in Zaleka refugee camp, Malawi. So I'm a slam poet, but I enjoy writing lyric poetry. By then, if I may be allowed, I'm just going to perform very short 3 poems, very short. So here goes. Silken words. Whenever I'm doing something else, I find myself bathing in poetry. A stanza never comes to my mind, but only lines stretching my folded brain. I ask my eyes if really they can see this light of pen that I'm holding in darkness. Poets are as dangerous as orbs. They can drive you from loneliness to the warmth of their poems. Now I make my text and back it crumple, for I can't reach the table. I'm trembling if I dare to trample them with ancient rebels. The next piece is a lovely poem about love. By then, though I'm not good at romantic, but I do try to play with words. So here goes. Teardrop. When you are confused, don't shed a tear, for you make me suffused with fear. Your love is raining in my heart, flowing deep in me and make patches green before your eyes are seen. Time shall prevail before our dreams sail on the shore of the sea still. Everyone will tell tales of sorrow, but what will remain for us to live for tomorrow? In silence I shall see you, with patience we stride through. Your absence excused by prison spews and spits in sultry. I'll make you a rainbow, though you can't glow. I'll never make you cry, even if I could try, for your teardrop is what I long to crop. The last piece is about refugees, and this is extracted from my 2 books that I authored. Being Refugee Wasn't a Choice anthology, which is going to be published very soon, early January, and Our Voice is our Catalyst anthology. So the poem goes. Waves of the sea. I am a poet, no pen and paper. Words ripple on the lips like soft winds. Valiant voice rustles me to speak for the orphans whose blood flows with the viscosity of the fleets. Our flag is dying, for you have failed to protect our mother Congo. We brought war instead of peace. When you stop grinding and crushing us, we are spices in the mortar. How long this bloodsheds be swimming the tunnel? We are refugees with no shelters. The rhythm of hymn sang by souls, for the guns have killed us with refuge. A wave of nostalgia ringing, reflecting, appealing when our dead parents are alive. Who do sleep on a mat no night? Cassia trees vibrating to the beat of the guns. We are vestiges of victims and being pushed away like pebbles in the river and walking with penumbra as the stars dancing in auroras. I don't want war. I want peace. We want peace. We want a world of peace. I smell the scent of air in the petunia of grapes, for berries were rotted and all related for being penurious on the waves of the sea. I'm so humbly thankful for invitation. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Well, I'm just speechless, Charles. It's I heard you recite before, but wow. We are the spices in the mortar. What a line. What a line. I always tell people, don't just get caught up in the day-to-day, what's going on in the news, and everyone was all worried about the Ukraine, and now it's Israel. We got the Congo and Yemen and Chad, and there's people all over the world that's displaced and have been living in refugee camps for years.
Yeah.
Children should not grow old in refugee camps, period.
Yeah.
And
Thank
yet
you.
you maintain such a positive outlook on life and you're doing stuff. So
Thank you. Thank you.
the power, you and I we'll sit down and chat. But thank you for
Yeah.
being
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for being here. I'm
Thank you
so
so much.
glad I came across you at the World Poetry Conference.
Thank you.
You're a bright star,
Thank
my.
you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Reach out to him, people. Get to know this young man. He's a force of nature. He's a force of nature. And living in not ideal situations, and yet still being able to embrace his humanity and still see the hope and feel the hope and put hope into the world. So good for you. Good for you. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, this young man, I say young man because he is a young man at heart. His words, it's just a brilliant human that his humanity spills out in his words. Anyway, Neil, my brother, the mic is yours.
Everyone can hear me? I hope you can hear me loud and
We can
clear.
hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Perfect. So I've got 4 very short poems, and the first one sort of inspired by some of the poetry we heard in Ike's set, and the title is Pavlova and Meringue. And I have a sweet tooth, and Pavlova is one of my favorite desserts, and we'll let Australia and New Zealand duke it out in terms of where that dessert originated. But it was named after the Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova, and it's in the form of, those of you who haven't enjoyed pavlova, it's a cake-like, block of baked meringue, and it's just awesome. It has a really crispy crust and it's light inside. So anyway, I hope you will enjoy this. Pavlova and meringue. Sometimes clouds in their billowy overhang arrive at this monastic calm, all pavlova and meringue. Whipped by wind, stirred by storm, they dance to a standstill, letting you have your fill of pillowy perfection as you drift into a dream, the yogurt, not a cream. That was the first. And the second is titled Mein Ecke, and not everyone knows, but the phrase my neck of the woods perhaps derives from the German Mein Ecke, and perhaps I've mispronounced that. So here goes. Worries whispered to the woods, sorrows shared sotto voce, almost. Stay with these silent sentinels, verdant and venerable, slightly stooped, bowed down by the burden of their secrets, burnt into their branches, leaves that have listened to lament, and then bent sunlight into a balm that even now drifts across the ether to you long after you have left this safe Arcadian grove. It is only then you may finally see the wood for the trees, Mein Ecke. With the solstice going to be on us in a couple of days, there are 2 very short poems about the solstice. The midwinter sun, lantern of weakened light, shortest day cloaked by the longest night. The anemic sun makes its lackluster way, a perfunctory plummet marking end of day. Pallid and pale, the enfeebled sun sets forth. From this low zenith it stalls to north, to renew and restore its former glow and shine, as prophets gaze skywards, seeking some sign. And the last, which is also a solstice poem. The sun never stands still, being the locomotive that pulls a whole solar system. Tilting towards the Milky Way are its carriages of planets, the moons and asteroids traveling in coach. Pluto, having been denied boarding, is no longer the caboose. The sun also turns on itself, not in self-loathing, but in an angular motion, bestowed by the soothing kiss of a cooling gas cloud. For us mere mortals on terra firma, especially for my friends in the north, today the sun will appear at its lowest and weakest up in the noon sky as it announces winter. It appears to be standing still for one very brief moment, so brief you might even miss it. Thank you.
The richness, my brother, the richness. Oh,
Thank you.
well, I felt like I just had a full course meal and dessert wrapped up in one. That's just brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And I think is, you know, you're actually kind of helping me get into Radi Hakus. I've never even thought of it.
Mhm.
But you know, just reading yours, and now I see Marianne's jumped on the bandwagon. I might have to jump in. You're a brilliant writer. You're a brilliant.
You're welcome, sir. Waiting for you.
You're brilliant. Thank you so much for always being here and supporting us, and just showing up as who you are. I really appreciate it. So, all right, from brilliance to brilliance. This young man, we had the honor of attending his book launch. It was last week, wasn't it? Stone Poetry. My friend Richard has a new book out. If you don't know about it, take a look. I'm sure he'll put the information in the chat. But the author of Stone Poetry, Richard, the mic is yours, my friend.
Thank you, brother. It's such an honor to be among this fine collection of international poets. Refreshing, vivifying, such spiritual songs, so touching. I have a couple pieces for you I hope will make you think and laugh. This first one is about a gift that the world has given us all. A very large iceberg, the largest ever released from Antarctica, is afloat and among us. So this is my little tribute to the frosty gift, iceberg A23A, which is now underway. A23 is about to go away, 3 times the size of New York City. She went astray, and also the size of London, so you know she's a fun one. Stuck to the floor of the Antarctic Ocean since '86, seems all this time she's been saving up a few more tricks, and all along the way we may have a notion to take a stroll, maybe up toward Baltimore. A23A has an area, they say, of 1,500 square miles, and that's today. But tomorrow, as the seas grow balmier, we'll see in our thermometers, she might be a hazard or cause a blizzard. It's hard to say with an iceberg that size and weight. And as she travels and the ice unravels, she'll be sweating off the water and probably, trolley, dropping perhaps sons and daughters. Yes, she was grounded in '86, but evidently she's still got more tricks, 'cause away she sails, melting and welting along the way, adding fresh water in the smooth and supple spray. Between 1992 and 2018, ice loss from the Arctic and Greenland raised sea levels by 7/10 of an inch, you see, lad. A23A has a storied past. She used to be home to a Soviet research station, but that's in the past, called Gruzhnaya #1. There was no denying the special kind of ice-laden fun they had till the ice shelf broke away and there was nothing else left to say. They packed her all up and found a new place to stay. As A23 breaks away and sets sail, so to say, she could threaten wildlife even more than the development that's in store. And if you could cut off the animals from the sea, if you ask me, what can I say? Oh, men, just go away. One, the plus side, the dust that rides in her wake, make no mistake, stirs up the sea bottom, and that could bring food, which we acknowledge is good. A23A headed our way, trailing water and muck, just our kind of luck. Good for the animals. I hope they're wearing their flannerals. And then, since you know one of my favorite topics is science, I'm going to give you another one. This is called the piece of the universe that we can see. There's roughly 2 trillion galaxies. Oh, can you say all the galaxies in me, and when our vision takes time to crawl up from the depths of the grime in our cup, what a marvelous sight, the shimmering, glimmering, oh, such dinnering. To see, oh me, what a wondrous, marvelous thing to be. What a marvelous, marvelous thing to be. When up from our slippery cup, climbing the chiming for $1 a diming, from the cheap seats the lamp bleats, but so much more I'll be eating my hat. And as the dinner rolls in, I'll give up some skin, counting the stars, just those right where you are, or the spinning out far. I've got the drift of redshift. Looking back now in time, so red-shifted in rhyme, it's fine, and they're listed, gold-kisted, define. The counting refined, a perspective reflecting divine. And when dinner is delivered, carried by some green little lizard, the lazy among us, an old Gerald McGungus, with Bosch in his bundles, they'll never be bothered. They've tumbled, ignored the slaughters of their sons and daughters. No, never. Climb to the rim, it might be a sin, leaving the peeking and sneaking to gin. 'Tis said the apple of knowledge might help you in college. It might provide, you acknowledge, a ride you might just climb up to. Say, the rim, the cup pour, and when the other kids have supper, that's the Milky Way splashing. What can I say to see them all dashing and spinning, the old cosmos out grinning? An infinity of stars, we'll be going back to Mars. And please, if you please, keep counting the stars so you know where you are. My friend, how very sorry we've tarried so far. And a last little piece that I hope leaves you smiling. Over, under, around, and through. Over, under, around, and through. The universe is going to take care of you. As above, so below. Count your daily million miracles that ease your way. You know, just peel off your socks and count your toes. Hurtling, tumbling through the immensity of space implies, of course, the other place. And when sunlight sparkles on the water, just exactly how you oughter. I've often heard among the folks they'd like a different species of joke. Not ever telling jokes so mean that the ambassador up and closes his magazine, but from the rows pressed between the pages of an ancient book, we get a very different kind of look. Like that rose plastered between the pages, what colorful threaded harmonies we find ourselves engaged in. Live out in mystery, come what may. May you too sprinkle a little mystery on the bread of day. Over, under, round, and through. Universe gonna take care of you. Like capuchin monkeys in the zoo, the stage ages of caged sages up and broke on through. Thanks, my friends. Have a wonderful day and happy holidays to you all.
Sage cages, you're a sage, all right. You're a crafty one, my friend. If you ever get a chance to not just hear him read his words, because at his book launch last week, he asked friends to read, pick poems of his to read, and reading it gives you a different insight to the man and how he uses humor to highlight topics that we need to really take a serious eye to. But that's what I love about it. You use humor in such a way to highlight the divine, to highlight the absurdity of life, but to highlight the things that I think we as a people need to talk about. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're from, just to talk. So you're brilliant. Brilliant. I love your madness, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Love it. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. Up next, our brother Isaac, all the way from Israel. How are you? Are you there? There he is. How you doing, bud?
Dear friends, today is half happy because there are war in Israel and some rockets and some war, but we are with hope for peace and for to live like a simple man. So, adequate resurrection. A leaf fell into my hand. I let it fly towards the tree. It resurrected. And the second, adequate, love, the giving, the happiness, the throne. And the church is small, adequate, love, touch me. The moon loves the lovers. Thank you, Adequate, Israel, and maybe the peace come soon and all the people be with culture and meeting and love and live.
Isaac, can I ask you a favor? Would you mind reciting your last piece in Hebrew? Like recite it in your language.
שלום, שלום.
Yes.
אתה רוצה שאני אקרא לך שיר של שלום?
Yes.
In Hebrew.
In Hebrew,
כן.
yes.
Yes. 40 לגינים של מלחמה, גמדתי כשיכור. בבקשה, תן לי בקבוק של שלום לרפא את המגפה. This is poem that I remember when I was 7 years old. There are the first war that I met, and my doing to me for the family is to take the bottle of water of the family when we are go to the shelter. And I remember this all my life. But I will, but I hope that I can see the peace. Maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, but in my life, the peace will come.
I hope so.
Thank
too,
you,
brother. I hope so too.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
All my friends. Yes.
to live your whole life in more or less knowing,
Yes.
excuse me, knowing that kind of a depravity and hopefully before your last breath. I hope so in before my last breath too. We start realizing that we're all in this together and we're all brothers and sisters regardless. So, but thank you for that. Thank you. Like I was there, I always invite people to recite as well in their mother tongue. So it was really good to hear you recite in Hebrew. Thank you for that.
You.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Frank.
Stay safe. Love to you and your family and to everyone in that region. I'm not picking sides. I just want the madness to stop. That's all I want. I want the madness to stop.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's continue on from brilliance to brilliance. Another brilliant young voice that's really coming into his own. Principe, the mic is yours. There he is.
I'll be reading 2 poems. The first poem is called, it's untitled right now. Patch band-aids on the child's soul don't heal. That's your Achilles heel. You put it on others. You put it on others to. You put it on others. Your unhealed wounds. Keyword projection. Doing the shadow work is the query you need to do. Asking queries, not in a hurry, but in an incremental gathering of resurfaced memories. The deeper one reflects outward, the more you learn. Looking, loving, and turning yourself with a spiritual, sacred embrace. A much-needed soul searching for you. As I look in my past, I learned what led me to today. A play-by-play of photographs, a raft of thoughts, each one making the current me. You and I have clingy, dinky closets full of overused clothes of the past. Time to work on us and dust off those 1/3 aperture eyes. Have 1/1500 aperture eyes instead. last one is called is 151 rum. And I take this righteous, and I take this righteous right of passage. I reflect upon the past. Indeed, it's a task. I'm learning and living life, trying to undo ancestral addiction that afflicts deeply. When I sip alcohol, I do it sparingly, sparing me a strong snug of it on my spirit, spearheaded by reminders of others' opiate negative experiences causing problems. Laundry lists of luring liquids crawl and fall near my thoughts of reflection of the past that passed me mightily. That's not the only addiction. Counting porn and sex. That's on me. To form it before the latter. In the middle of my heart, like playing Ring Around the Rosie. The stumbling on stony steps of addiction because I've been afflicted. In the poem.
Good job, bud.
Okay.
You know, it's funny when you maybe grow up with a speech impediment or learning disabilities, it's just like when people don't recite in their mother tongue, it forces you to listen and to get out of this thing about things have to be perfect. So, you know, I just watch your growth and how you're getting so much more confident in your reciting and just stumble through it. It's just like I told Mish before, embrace the nerves, embrace what you are and just present it, because I don't know about you guys, but he's been around now for a few months, and you're getting better. Your writing is getting stronger, right? So I just continuously thank you and applaud you, and thank you for supporting and coming out, Principe. Keep doing you, brother. Keep doing you. All right, up next, this young lady's on a roll these days, Suzanne. Dazzle us, Professor.
This is really an awesome, for me, it's a morning. Wow, I'm pretty blown away. All righty, let's see. I have 2 poems and then I have 3 micro poems. Can we be love? In these troubled times, are we closer to the roots as we witness a shattering of the old, as vaults of dark secrets are being cracked open? Are we at times relieved that scabs are being ripped off, that wounds and injustices can be seen and breathed now? Is our buried grief being unearthed? Do we feel the unspoken laments of our ancestors as we let in the heartbreak of our abandoned sisters and brothers who've been cast out for millennia, who we've cast out for millennia? Is the inhumanity firing us up to love more? Excuse me. Can we show our tails, growl, howl, roar, let our hearts bleed openly, come out of hiding, get real? What about Mother Earth? Can we see our greed and selfishness with new, raw eyes? See what we have destroyed, what we have stolen? Can we cry for her? Can we help her? Are we able to see our oneness and commit to foster healing? Can we be love? Are we inspired to gather in the streets, at altars, in temples, shrines, at the sea, to become humble before the divine, serve our sorrowing world? And this is called Haunting Questions. Your life, your death, by your own hand. Were you a gossamer winged child who felt the world too hard, too cold? Were there holes in you where mother love should have been? Were you clay others tried to mold? A paint by numbers painting when you ached for raw, primal strokes of love and true feeling? Did you seek across continents, unable to find a sweet spot for yourself? Did you long for a land where motherless children are scooped up at the faintest scent of fear, where lies are left at the door and the wounded are cradled in circles of care? My mind seeks a place to put you, a safe port so the gnawing will stop. Life will not give me that today. So now I sit, at times in deep peace, everything in its right place, at other times, agitation, rage, fear. I sit with this fierce gift from you, the mystery. And then micropoems. 3 of them. I love that word, micropoems. So I've been writing micropoems. Okay, here's one. My words are yesterdays until I inhabit them, and they start rolling in the dirt and cawing with the crows. The trance of separateness. We can begin again. Listen to what the mountain is whispering. And then the last one here. Fierce. If you are raw, wild, fury in this dark night, scream your prayers from your primal home. The sacred wants all of us. Thank you.
My apologies, Suzanne. I didn't realize my mic was open as I coughed there at the end. So, but thank you for
being real, Raleigh.
My words are yesterday until I inhabited them. Wow. Brilliant line. Brilliant line. Just love watching you blossom, coming into your own, embracing this poetry thing. Yeah. It's really cool to watch and witness. Thank you for being here and always supporting us. Love it. Love it. All right. From brilliance to brilliance. Up next, the General, Brian Franco. The mic is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Raul. I'll do 2 poems and the lyrics to a song. So this first poem is sort of around the edges because I just wrote it yesterday in Tumblewords, and I would like to say everyone should go to Tumblewords Project on Tumblewords Project on Facebook and just look at their event page every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. They have a different facilitator for their workshops, and it was run for about 26 years by a woman named Sindler who recently passed away. But I just want to give a shout out to Tumblewords. So this has no title. You just received a text. You had just received a text. Your left hand shook for a few seconds. You placed your right hand atop your left hand. I saw fear in your eyes. You bowed your head to avoid my stare. I knew he was checking up on you. Whenever you received one of those texts, you fumbled your phone before it was in your hands. You typed back as if the world was coming to an end while deeply breathing in a way that frightened me. You removed your right hand from atop your left hand, let out a sigh, and nodded your head, and convincingly, tears you had trained yourself to swallow that welled in your eyes were evident in red and white. I reached across the table and placed my right hand atop your left hand. You looked at me, inhaled through your nose with a sniffle, exhaled long and hard through your mouth, and decided to not swallow your tears. And this next poem is Not all masseuses offer happy endings. I remember well when you first reached into my chest and grabbed my heart. Our conversations converted my body into an existential amorphous blob you reached into. Instead of grabbing my heart, you massaged it. You could have looked through me, but instead decided to see me. Your stare might have been a through and through arrow, but instead was an injection of getting to know you. Your actions echoed words that you were capable of nursing a soul. Then came the day when you reached into my chest and squeezed my heart hard. I thought you were there to give it a massage. Instead, you used your massage expertise to squeeze it to the point of almost bursting, then squeeze it to the point of almost bursting, then squeeze it to the point of almost bursting, then squeeze it to the point of almost bursting till I passed out. When I came to, you were there. You asked me what I remembered. I thought you had come to massage my heart, arrived too late. History would repeat itself too many times. Since our history had no witnesses, I accepted your version of history with you as my heroic resuscitator. Then came the day when I installed a nanny cam for a reason unrelated to you. Then came the day when I bore witness to you at your desk with your fountain pen. I watched you dip the pen into ink it drank in a way I had never seen a pen drink ink. I enlarged screenshots of the ink which had a label that read my name, then apostrophe S, then soul juice. I learned about how one person can squeeze another person's heart until it almost bursts, and though no blood exits, the squeezer can extract several drops of the squeezee's soul with the sole purpose of writing believable fiction. And this song, I first heard by there was a folk duo in the 90s called the Williams Brothers. They had a really great album called Harmony Hotel. But it was written by a woman named Julie Silver, who originally sung it herself. She's a national songwriter and a singer. It's called Broken Things. You can have my heart, though it isn't new. It's been used and broken and only comes in blue. It's been down a long road and it got dirty along the way. If I give it to you, will you make it clean and wash the shame away? You can have my heart if you don't mind broken things. You can have my life if you don't mind these tears. Well, I heard that you make old things new, so I give these pieces all to you. If you want it, you can have my heart. So beyond repair, nothing I could do. I tried to fix it myself, but it was only worse when I got through. Then you walk right into my darkness, and you speak words so sweet, and you hold me like a child till my frozen tears fall at your feet. You can have my heart if you don't mind broken things. You can have my life if you don't mind these tears. Well, I heard that you make old things new, so I give these pieces up to you. If you want it, you can have my heart. Thank you, everyone.
What a beautiful piece. The last one and yours, Brian. You know how I feel about your work. Thank you for that reminder. Reminds me of a poem I wrote called My Broken Hearted Walk. There's no way you can get through this life without having your heart broken. That means you're living life and experiencing. That was beautiful, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. Up next, Finn Bell. The mic is yours.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Raul.
You're welcome.
Happy festive season to you all poets, beloved poets. Ike, thank you so much for always putting out your soul through your poetry. It's a courageous act, and embedded in your words, there is beauty, profound beauty, which can be found in surprising places. So I want to share three shorter, newer pieces. The other day, we were challenged by a poet to look forward into 2024. What would be coming soon for us, or what we would hope, or what our thoughts are. So I created 4 haikus for that. The first haiku. When down holds fast to heart, spirit, and resolve, where to soar but up. When down holds fast to heart, spirit, and resolve, where to soar but up. I am writing now, I promise, words emerging. No, you cannot peek. I am writing now, I promise, words emerging. No, you cannot peek. There is no one side, there is no opposition. We all bleed in life. There is no one side, there is no opposition. We all bleed in life. Time discovers truth. Seneca's wisdom heed. My patience will hold. Time discovers truth. Seneca's wisdom heed. My patience will hold. So the next poem, the 12th of this month would have been the 57th anniversary of my parents. Sadly, my mama passed away in 2020. She always looked forward to their anniversary with excitement, probably just as much excitement every year than she did the first year. So this is dedicated to her. It's called Kitchen Litany. My mama was the peeler of apple skins, the eye of perfection in straight-edged impossibility of soft, semi-translucent skins, of harina, of asin, of tubig, of nestling, of nurturing, mother of taming beast, mother of returning wave, mother of expectant soil. With steady hand fashioned metronome blades, rhythm hum against resistance, in fragrant wood, against malleable flesh and fat, of laman ng manok, of carne ng baka, of puwersa ng buhay. Mother of all sustenance, mother of all bountiful, mother of the cornucopia womb. And then I want to finish with this last poem. I do practice solitary witchcraft, and I think we need a spell of protection as well as a banishment spell of all that is just ill and evil in society. So this goes out as a invocation into the universe. It's called I Am a Banishing Spell. I am the waiting candle. I am the licking flame. I am the banana blossom, heart-bearing sand pebble tear. I cast out the hollow trunk chest. I cast out the rot consuming my sugar pulp center forgiveness, gnawing at my guava bark goodwill. I am the paper, bitter rosemary. I am the salt of my dissipation. You do not touch the fine red dust on your knees to the woven mat of our bamboo yielding floor. She sways once, She dances along with the shifting weight within my muscles. She reminds me, in the curvature of my relenting reed body resides the tensile will of twining fiber perseverance, of not cragged patience. You are not welcome here. I am the pungent, sweet sage and the sacred tree branch. I am my palm cup beneath the gentle flow the spring water creek delivers in her generosity. Know this, I wash my hands of you. Your fate is not solvent, object is not tangible, is not your will. Through Sister Hecate, your poison is cleansed into its beginnings, into its purity. My surrender is our offering. I see my three stern faces relieved of their sorrows. I am cradled within furled flesh fronds of my safety. So it was. Blessed be. So it is. Thank you.
Blessed be. My surrender is an offering. Beautiful work, Finn. Wow. Beautiful work. And much love to you and your mama in the spirit world. And your
Thank
dad.
you so much, Raul. That
And
means a
your dad.
lot.
And your dad. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your words always carry such a depth and yet hope. Beautiful work. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from brilliance to brilliance, we're almost done. We've got this young lady coming up from New York City, Diane Ward. Always great when you can join the Inspired Poetry Corner. So the mic is yours, my friend.
Thank you so much. And I'm only going to read one piece. It's nice to hear from a fellow dancer. We celebrate Diwali, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Feast of Three Kings. Great food all the way around, so it's wonderful. Don't mind celebrating. I'm going to read this piece, just one piece. The prompt was from the New York City Public Library. They have a magazine that's online, and the theme for this year was Stay Connected. And so you don't need a holiday to stay connected. I think that should be done all year round. And the title of my piece is Penmanship is Still Important. I always liked to write handwritten notes. As old as I am, I too have elders. I am fortunate. When their hearing was an issue, even though now resolved, for they admit their need of aids, I still write them a note. It's not that their voice is irritating. I still recall the jarring effect on me of yelling into the phone at my elders. I will write them a note, a letter, legible enough, I think, for them to read. I write in my hand script, not too long a note, sometimes just a bright, cheerful card. Just to let them know that I'm thinking of them. It's still helpful. We're still connected. We're still expressing love. And sometimes they will call knowing I can hear them and they can hear me. When I call them, their phone line is busy. Hearing is working for them again. Nonetheless, I still write a periodic note. A handwritten note is a hug and pieces of my epithelia on a stamp, only forever stamps. Again, connecting with stamps of all types of she-ros and he-ros commemorated on stamps. My handwritten notes to my personal she-ros and he-ros. What a beautiful added benefit. My elders are special to me, and they helped form my development for patients, people, friends, acquaintances, and love. So, staying connected differently without technology all of the time and being more personable, I think best stated, shown with a handwritten note, which never grows old, though we all do. I know my note doesn't go to the cloud. It's read perhaps by eyes becoming clouded with tears, not necessarily glaucoma or cataract, thank God. I can still gift in their mailbox a surprise they now, I think, expect occasionally. As I still can, and they remain or not on this earth, connected even later on, they and I will both remember handwritten notes, which my script, carefully formed and purposely written slightly bigger, never cramped, with letters I try not to arthritically slur. So if a word is misread, they know it's love, love, and more love. DMW. Thank you.
Brilliant piece. Handwritten note in a hug. I love that piece. Well done, Diane. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're brilliant. You have such a gentle soul. All right. From brilliance to brilliance, and I'll see you tomorrow as well for the ethical recital. So I guess we're at that stage, Henry, where you're considered an elder, one of the village elders, a man of great
Yeah.
wisdom. So the mic is yours, my friend.
I guess I am an elder, 42-year-old great-grandson, 58-year-old great-granddaughter. I guess I'm pretty old, you know. I don't know, you know. Don't
But it's
believe
said
it.
with such reverence and love when you're an elder. So
Yeah. I don't have kids that old or grandkids. I'm just joking. Sunday, I participated in an event. I'm just going to read one, and it's been great. Hearing everyone. Our feature was hot, and the words, and I'm partial to that video poem. I really am, but all your words are wonderful. On Sunday, I participated in a holiday jazz and blues event here in Nashville at the Scarrett Bennett Center. And the main theme was about mental health resources, because during the holidays, people that have lost loved ones, that's a very crisis moment. I'm sharing today with you one of those poems. It is titled, The Wounds of Fear. The wounds of fear. An unhealed wound. Picking at the scab like a curious child uncovers old pain, leaking old memories, some of terror, some of tears. Found a new journey and a mirror to smile, which wasn't cracked, where broken chips and glass splinters sunk deeply into your soul. You bled without people knowing, but felt drained each day, depleting joy hour after hour, wondering how long you'll live like this and still smile, hiding your challenges when friends or strangers looked at you wondering, is everything okay? You don't look okay, must not feel okay. So they walked away. They simply walked away. Let you deal with what you were going through, to be left alone and lonely until you sought another way to be and live. No one is meant to feel cold and brittle all the time. You walked into a forest trying to find yourself, seeking sacred ground to find your face, in a stream's reflection, or you smiled as the child peeking from within those currents, reminding you again you're worth loving and embrace joy, even if for a moment. So you listened to that child, lost innocence full of old wisdom. That voice echoes from you, and even at times comes as a scream to save you from what you believe is relief. Opens your ears, opens your heart, stares bravely at that stream of what is flowing inside of you, a stream which is a part of you, full of water and dreams, moving, healing waters aren't stagnant. So you're there, still alive. So angry, child, please, please leave those old wounds alone and enjoy the balm of your breath, being able to breathe. You're alive, whispering hope for another day. Leave those old wounds alone.
How apropos that I introduce you as an elder and then you read that. The wisdom, my brother. It's not just the wisdom, it's that, to me, wisdom is knowing how to really use knowledge acquired. And that message comes through loudly in your work.
Thank you.
It comes through loudly in your work.
Yeah.
So
I can sum that up. And I was telling a friend not a couple of days ago, I said, you got to let that shit go. I said, just keep that statement in your head. Let that shit go. And I think around the world, as human beings, we don't know how to do that.
No, we want to hold on to things that actually build our resiliency. And I guess we're just not taught differently, but hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there because that's what I've learned from my life. The real harsh experiences of my life is what actually filled my resiliency tank, and I embrace them now. I don't let go of the experience. I let go of the suffering of the experience, and I keep the experience because wisdom is attached to it. So, yeah, thank you for that constant reminder. All right, and from present day elder to one day future elders, I've invited kinfolk to join us for this last show of 2023, and Dia and Trophy, and hopefully Glory is there. Please share with us your brilliance and wrap up the show for us.
Okay, well, it's so wonderful to be here. It's just Lady Dia of Kinfolk Nation today.
That's fine.
But I'm so happy to share with you. I love listening to you all. It's like I'm in different worlds so many times. Just everybody's story. So I was inspired by a book when I wrote this, just my reflection. Free, it looks like. Freeing saggy titties from patriarchal shackles. It looks like rolls that roll from the front of your stomach to your back, and you wear a crop top with it. It looks like I hit crust on your face, but you still close your eyes, let your crush stroke your face. Free to choose what to lose and still live happily, knowing I make my own realities. That's not centered on Eurocentric normativities. I crush the herbs, talk to the leaves. I'm making dolls if you don't leave. I trust the earth, I know her well. I know the power of a dark girl spell. Don't die from a broken heart. Oh, you cry and you wanna stop his beating heart, but he don't love you just like how you don't love yourself. And people going to space to defy gravity. You're Hair do it all the time. Don't you know you're magical? Ooh, you're magical. Ooh. That was the first. I read a book and it was that story, but I had to. That's how I learned through pieces. So, that was one of them, and I was really talking about self-love in that, you know, and sometimes we expect other people to fill us, but you have to love yourself first. And so sometimes you change these most deepest pieces of yourself, and it's not, why. So that's one. You don't know the sacrifices we made. Chasing life before it slips out of hand. I can't sleep though it's 12 in the morning. Gotta be at the house at the crack of dawning. You don't know the sacrifices we made. Chasing life before it slips out of hand. I can't sleep though it's 12 in the morning. Gotta be at the house at the crack of dawning. Yeah, I'm ripping and crashing and thrashing. Better move aside, cause I could be abrasive. I'm a Gemini, yeah, watch me as I shapeshift. I ain't trying to incite violence. Fire and air combusted science. Trophy and I can folk, we wildin'. But you don't know the sacrifices we made. Chasing life before it slips out of hand. I can't sleep though it's 12 in the morning. Gotta be at the house at the crack of dawning. I haven't figured out how to end that song. But this one really healed me. I love this song because, well, you'll understand why at the end, but. Oh, there's one moment. Time goes swift. Next thing, 20 years has gone by, and I'm grown with a family of my own, and I'm still needing your love and affection. Find it easier to think that you don't care about me. But then I got told the sweetest word, and it broke my fragile heart in two. You said, wish I was there. People know that I'm here. I thought, well, I told myself that people don't know I exist. I find it easier to think that I gotta deal with these emotions. You're not the bad guy that I wanted. You're not the bad guy that I painted. You're just a man who lost his way back. And now you're sick and now I hate that. Can't even talk but smile, I'll smile back. And your grandchild smiles like you can light up the whole room. Time goes quick. Time goes quick. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you all, beautiful people. Thank you.
Lady Dia, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's early. Well, it was early, but thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to the last. Tell Trophy and Glory. Give him a big hug for me. I love that last piece. Love that last piece. It's so being an observer and witnessing and watching people that you care about grow into who they are. Watching you guys coming in, watching you grow into this womanhood. Just because you were a child when I met you. And I'm like, look at you now. It's amazing to watch, and you hear it in the tunes and the words. You have this present that grabs us and goes, okay. So thank you. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a long show, but as Finn just left, she goes, all right, spirit refueled. So I'm glad you stuck it out. I'm glad that we're able to bring this to you today. And Ike, my brother, what a beautiful, beautiful way to end the year with the diversity of your talent, my brother, is just mind-boggling. And the older you get, the richer you get. You're already a wealthy man beyond the material. Your gifts are just a blessing to us all. So I'm grateful and thankful that you were here today, and grateful that you chose to honor us and helping us spotlight you and be the last feature for 2023. So, and to all the poets, all the not ready for prime time players, all the people that showed up today, I'm grateful. It is December. It's the last month of the year, and we have all sorts of festivals going on. So whatever you choose to do, celebrate life. Celebrate all of life. Not just the good, not just the beautiful, but all of it. It all makes us who we are. And these crazy times we're living, I too would love one day where we don't have war. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's a hope I think we can all cling for. Because maybe if we get to a point where we don't have war, that says we as a humanity has evolved. And that's what history has taught me. We keep evolving. So during these harsh times and all the conflicts that's going on around the world, not just in Israel, not just in the Ukraine, there's conflicts going on all around. There's still a lot of good and beauty in this world. And we got to sample, small sample of it today through how we choose to express our brilliance, our artistry. I see the divine in all. I see the divine in all eyes. I feel the divine radiating from all hearts because we're in this together. I want to thank you all for your continued support of the Inspired Poetry Corner as we venture into year 3. Stay tuned for more brilliant minds, brilliant voices, plus yourselves. Continue to support the other shows. Challenge yourself to write what you see, what you believe, whether people agree with it or not, I don't care. The world wants your light, and we are a light. It is not the dark that we fear the most. It's our light that scares us most, our brilliance. So like I told Mish today, embrace the nerves, embrace the fear. Because without it, you will never know how great and powerful you are without it. Have a blessed, blessed rest of Sunday. This was the Inspired Poetry Corner, Sunday Kind of Love, brought to you not by me, by you. I am because you are. I love you all. I love you all. I'll see you in 2024 when we'll gather and do it all over again with a smile on our face and with poetry in our hearts. Peace.
Peace, Rob. Peace, peace, peace. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You want to
Bye-bye,
know.
everybody. Bye-bye. Stay safe out there, guys.